All right, what's up, guys? Had to plug in my mic. Um, Before we get started on the sports topics that you read in the title of this video, I have a sponsor. My first sponsor um, is by my first sponsor is Cheekline Arts. Okay, and I'm going to show you two commercials by Cheekline Arts. That's Cheekline_Arts. You can find them on Instagram. All right. For erotic art. This is not for children. I must place a misnomer. Not a misnomer. Say ahead of time. This is not for children. In fact, I'm going to wait for the actual 2-minute mark of the video before I play the commercial. This is for adults. This is adult content. Sports and sex go hand in hand. That's why you have ring girls at fights. That's why you have cheerleaders at every, in football and in basketball, right? I don't know about baseball. No, I don't think they have cheerleaders in baseball at all. Just the phrase, chicks love the long ball, which is kind of a sexual connotation in itself. All right, so I'm going to show this in a couple of seconds. This is by one of my closest friends in the world. I actually consider him a brother. I would give him a shirt off my back if he needed it. So, of course, if he has product, it's going to be on this channel. It's going to be advertised on this channel. And he's a sponsor of mine. So let's get it started. We at the 2-minute mark. Hang on, folks.
Hi, Jerron. Cheekline Art. Great artwork as usual. Don't forget to get volume 3, but of course, my favorite, the Book of Booty.
Should be everybody's favorite. Thanks again, my friend. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you can find them at Cheekline Arts on Instagram. At Cheekline_Arts on Instagram.
Hi, Jerron. Cheekline Art. Great artwork as usual. Don't forget to get volume 3, but of course, my favorite, the Book of Booty.
Should be everybody's favorite. Thanks again, my friend. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
I hope that's not my brother Jerron doing the running man. Love you, bro. All right, that's one of his advertisements. Let's get to another one. Let me turn the volume up on my phone a little. Oh, it's already up. I want this to steady in. There we go. And action. Once again, you can find his content, his artwork at Cheekline_Arts on Instagram. Very talented artist. He has 2 erotic coloring books in the marketplace that you can hit him up and purchase. This is from his coloring book, Adult Erotic Art. There you go. Cheekline_Arts. You can find him on Instagram. No, Rant Roller Sports has not turned into porn. This is my boy Jerron's Cheekline Arts page on Instagram. Adult erotic art. He has an adult coloring book for those of you who may be interested. Okay? Shout out to cheekline_arts at Instagram. Now, let's get to the live topics I have. We're going to get into it. Tom Brady's instant karma. Jimmy Butler talks about the 76er mess while he was there and his decision to leave and why he decided to leave and not return to a team that was one lucky shot from Kawhi Leonard from going to the NBA Finals, more than likely. And we're going to talk about, this is nothing new, but a while back, Dennis Rodman was running off at the mouth talking about how he can guard this one today and that one today and how he would guard LeBron James easy. Oh, it would be easy. Really. A lot of you old school guys will agree with Rodman. I do not. Yes, Rodman was able to fluster and bother a young Shaquille O'Neal, right? A young Shaquille O'Neal. He pulled out all his Detroit Pistons bad boy tricks that the referees allowed. And yes, Rodman was a hell of an athlete, strong, but let me save that for my segment on Rodman versus LeBron. Okay, let's get into Tom Brady, instant karma. I did a live, I don't know when, the other day or something like that, maybe 2 days ago, I'm not sure, where I talked about Tom Brady being full of shit, talking about defenses being like dogs chasing cars. And I went into a rant about how the rule changes have afforded Tom Brady to stand in the pocket untouched and throw the ball all over the field. Now, of course, Bill Belichick always protected him by having a superior superior pass blocking offensive line. They weren't a great run blocking offensive line, but he made sure that they could pass block, right? I also spoke about how, yes, he's talented. Yes, he works hard. But I'm also a little bit suspicious about his off-season treatment program. Because those of you that might be 25, even 35, you don't understand the changes your body will start to go through as you approach your 40s and you get into your 40s. And you will find that when you go to the gym, it's not the same. You do not get the same results. Your testosterone levels are not the same as they were when you were in your 20s. And for him to look the way he does and play the way he does and avoid injury the way he does, I don't know. I don't know. Let me take this out. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know what the hell is going on here. That damn noise. Here we go. Tonight, Tom Brady recently, this Sunday, played against the New Orleans Saints. And right after the comment about the dogs chasing cars, the defensive comment he made, and I'm going to show you some highlights from this game.
Brady stepping up, goes into traffic, and it's going to be hauled in and picked off. Marcus Williams with the interception, the second of the night against Brady. They also picked him twice in the opener. So 4 of his 6 this season against the Chiefs. Got 2 tonight. 4th down and 7. Brady under pressure again. Throws up a prayer and intercepted by Malcolm Jenkins. Look out, and it's picked off, and he's Yamata, the lineman, the defensive lineman who comes up with it. David Onyemata. And he is down. Of course, they're going to run over to the screen and do a little celebration there for you. Man, oh, man.
They should have acted like they was chasing cars.
What you're seeing?
So that was Tom Brady. This is not going to be a long live. I'm going to run through these subjects. I've talked about Tom Brady at length on this channel. I just wanted to bring that up as instant karma for him talking shit about defensive players. Okay, the next topic I want to go into is Jimmy Butler and his reasons why he left the Philadelphia 76ers to join the Miami Heat team.
Was last year difficult for you?
And this is very interesting. He's being interviewed by former teammate on the Philadelphia 76ers, J.J. Redick, shooting guard J.J. Redick. All right, and he's going to explain his issues. He's going to explain his issues with the 76er management, the coaching staff, and why he wasn't comfortable returning there. Okay, and this is also going to lead into how they're mishandling Ben Simmons, and he even touches on this. So it's not just me. I've made a couple of videos speaking on how they're mishandling the Ben Simmons situation, but here you have it from a guy who was right inside the locker room. All right, and this is Jimmy Butler, now of the Miami Heat, all-star Jimmy Butler, small forward, one of the best two-way players to play the game. You could say that he was another version of Kawhi Leonard, or Kawhi Leonard is another version of him, however you want to say it, but they're kind of like two peas in a pod. The difference is Kawhi Leonard doesn't speak. He just plots and plans, and Jimmy Butler speaks his mind openly.
Yeah. Not just getting traded, but the whole summer, preseason.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it was difficult. Man, it was so different. And on any given day, me as a person, as a player, I didn't know who the was in charge. I think that was my biggest thing. I didn't know what the to expect whenever I was going to the gym, whenever I go into the plane, whenever I go into the game. I was like, man, I would think I was as lost as the next motherfucker.
Meaning there was a lot of voices.
Yeah. And
a lot of input from a lot of different places.
And just so much going on any given day. I was like, yep, I guess I'm just here to work. I didn't even know who to talk to.
At what point did you realize that? At what point did...
And that fucking meeting in the office, and I told you that. I told you
Fair use, J.J. Redick. Fair use.
I cannot believe.
Wait, when Brett brings me, you,
Joe and Ben.
This is pre-Tobias trade.
Yeah.
Was this before or after obviously I'll tell my side of the story about what happened in Portland with you in the meeting.
Yeah,
that got reported. This is before or after that? I don't remember. It was before.
It was before.
Before we went on that West Coast trip, then. Yeah, okay.
It was before. And we're all sitting in there, and nothing got accomplished at all. So I was like, and I told you this as we walked out.
Hey, I don't normally do this. You play games on your phone,
Excuse me.
Well, you have to check this one out.
JJ, why would I ever go back in there again? Like, nothing's getting accomplished. Nobody's saying nothing to anybody. And we just sitting in here watching film, and you can literally hear the thing just clicking. And we all just looking around. But you got to think. Now, I'm just like, I may have been 2-3 weeks there tops.
Yeah, it was the first month.
Yeah, easily. So, you know what? I'm sitting back and I'm watching. I ain't saying nothing because don't nobody know me like that. When I first got to Philly, what did you think of me?
I didn't know.
If you go about what you read, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting back, I'm relaxed. I'm like, these motherfuckers think I'm an asshole anyways. Let me be quiet. So I'm sitting back. I'm hearing it. Click, click, looking around. Click, click. All right, guys, let's go practice. Why did we just go through this? That's literally what's going on in my head. So I come to you. I said, JJ, why would I go back in there again? We didn't do nothing. Nothing got accomplished. So now we fast forward to however many weeks is over there, and we're in Portland, and then that happens during the film session.
What do you make of all this?
I hope it's not true. But Jimmy Butler, as we know, has been carrying a little bit of a track record in terms of dealing with coaches. So
because once again, wasn't nobody saying nothing. So who was the individual that decided to finally say something?
Here's the tough part. You did one thing wrong.
What did I do?
Nothing you said about the team was wrong. I thought your interaction with Brett that day was like a normal interaction. I don't know why it got reported the way it did.
Because it was me.
Yeah, because you were coming off whatever happened in Chicago, whatever happened in Minnesota. Yeah, I get it. But nothing was weird. But so he's like, there's some tweaks to the offense. I think some other guys on the team feel the same way. And who did he throw under the bus?
I didn't throw him under the bus.
You threw the nicest guy. You threw TJ McConnell under the bus.
I did not throw him under the bus. I did not say his name. I did not say his name.
Jimmy goes, TJ wants more pick and roll.
I did not say that. I did not say that. This is what I did. Okay, I did not say TJ. He said, who else feels the type of way about it? Now, keep in mind, everybody comes to talk to me because they know I'm not afraid to be the asshole. So, obviously, I talked to him. Brett asked a great question. Who else feels the type of way about something? All I did, I didn't hear nothing behind me. I just knew somebody was going to speak up because I had talked to about 5 people. Crickets. So I turned around, and the first person I just happened to lock eyes with was TJ. So, Monty goes, yo, no, for real, now's the time. TJ was like, well, I was like, TJ, man, if you don't say what you got to say, and I love TJ. I talk to TJ all the time. But I just feel like it's okay to speak your mind.
Absolutely.
The worst thing that Brett could have said was, you, no. And then you just go back to just being quiet. At least you get to say what you got to say.
You know how I feel about Brett. I love Brett and all that. And I know your relationship wasn't the same, but
sure was not.
Towards the end of the year, though, as we did sort of tweak how the offense is run, especially in the playoffs, where you're playing on the ball more. Did that relationship evolve at all, or was it strictly a professional relationship?
I would say it was professional, but to this day, I don't think that was fair to switch over like that. Even though I think we played great basketball like that, I don't think it was fair because the entire year, Ben had the ball. The entire year, Ben had the ball. Yeah. So you mean to tell me that in one playoff series, you just switch it up like that? I would be like he was. I would feel a type of way.
Yeah.
I would feel a type of way. I would think that it's up to play one way the entire year and then be like, you know what? Boom, this is how we're going to do it. And I used to tell bro, I was like, bro, I think we should mix in me handling the ball a little bit. No, we do A to B. We do this. Cool.
Right.
Cool. But I would be pissed. And I'm not going to complain about it. But I don't think that was the best way of doing it, in my opinion.
When that Kawhi shot went in,
yeah,
what was going through your head?
He was speaking about how Brett, the then coach of the 76ers, he's no longer coach. Doc Rivers is coach of the 76ers. He was speaking about how then coach Brett Brown was had switched come playoff time, switched Ben Simmons off of running the point and basically had Jimmy Butler running the offense. And he felt that it was effective, but it wasn't fair to a young up-and-coming player like Ben Simmons for their confidence. Like he'd been running the team the whole year, got them to that point in the playoffs, and then to just totally switch over. The coach might have felt it was necessary, so I'm not going to harp too much on that, but I'm just harping on the fact that they've been chipping away at Ben Simmons' confidence in that management and coaching regime of the Philadelphia 76ers. He's going to go on to speak about things that transpired in the offseason, why he chose Miami. He basically said that he overheard a conversation of, well, or was told about a conversation that the Philadelphia upper management were having about, well, if we bring him back, will you be able to control him? And Jimmy Butler was like, control who? I'm a grown man. You're not controlling me. So they had a total effed up approach toward handling players, it seems like, for years now. And if that was the case, they basically let a two-way offense and defensive all-star in his prime, in his physical prime, small forward, 6'7", walk out the door. There's also rumors that Jimmy Butler is one of Michael Jordan's love children. That just rumors, folks. You know, that rumor caught fire on the internet for a while. They even started comparing Jimmy Butler's eyes to Michael's eyes, and you know, it got crazy. But who knows? You know, Michael Jordan was the most famous athlete in the world at that time and at his height. And I'm pretty sure he was a Rolling Stone going all through these states, tearing everything up. So who the hell knows, right? If DMX got like 14, 15 children, think of how many children MJ might have. Or maybe he was just way smarter than DMX, rest his soul, who recently passed away, the rapper. All right, so I don't want to take this live for so long. We're going to get into another topic, the last topic. Just bear with me, folks.
I never thought I would say this, but...
You know what? This YouTube thing is getting on my nerves here. Oh, there we go. This iPhone now wants to start acting up right when I'm doing my live. But we're going to work through it. There we go. Once again, this is one of my favorite people to watch. So you're going to see him featured a lot on the channel just because he's a very intelligent guy. He goes overboard sometimes, and I do chime in when I feel like he's exaggerating. But for the most part, he's accurate. And that's the great point guard of the Washington Wizards, former point guard of the Washington Wizards, Gilbert Arenas. And he's speaking on Dennis Rodman talking about shutting down LeBron James. So we're going to get into that. This iPhone is acting up today. Okay.
You know, when people talk
the
about
Android must be rubbing off.
The 92 team or the this team, and then you always say, what rules? what rules? What rules are we playing under? Are we playing under, you know, Rock'em Sock'em Robot style rules? And, you know what I mean? If so, you're going to have to really let this group adjust to, you know, prison basketball. If you're trying to play this style, then with the new style, then these 92 guys, they can't keep up because they don't have the equipment. They don't have the tools. They don't have the skill set to compete with these crossovers and step backs, and they don't have, you know. So it's really a pointless argument, and that's why when back in the day when I was like, you know, Dennis Rodman, they would have killed a 6'7", 210-pound guy wouldn't be stopping LeBron James. Let it go. You wouldn't. You know, he's a point guard. You were great at defending people who's back to the basket. He's going downhill. Your strength, your brute strength has no bearing on downhill guards. It's like, you know, the defensive guards back in the day. You know, you get the hand check. Well, the hand check worked because the guard wasn't a scorer. He was a setup guy. So he's sitting there with his back to the basket trying to, you know, get this offense to get it to the big man down low. So it's easy to just, you know, hand check a guy who's not moving anywhere.
Like Mark Jackson.
And all it takes is a guy that's going to say, you know what,
I'm going to actually take this upon myself. I am going to square up. That's where the crossover came.
Yeah, but like I said, so evolution, like the defense of that defender, that hand check, all went out the window when Allen Iverson came into the game.
Yeah, but to prove that point is that's what happens. It just takes that one guy that has something that now we couldn't guard the crossover.
Yeah.
And all these guys.
Evolution changes. Evolution changes the way, the game is played, the way it's moved. So, when you sit and say, the players are soft and they couldn't last in my era, it's false. It's a false statement. You're
absolutely false.
From rules and adapting to it. It's soft. Okay, one, they say it's soft because they're watching the players complain about fouls, right? Well, we're complaining about fouls because the rules that we're being told us you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. So, that's what we're going to argue about. Well, that's the rules. You can't say I'm soft because these are the rules and I'm wondering where foul is. If you was allowed to clothesline and we can clothesline each other, that would have been the style. Would have been there's no complaining because But I'm designing my game off of the rules that are in play right now.
Pay attention.
Because of the rules. Like, we can say your generation was soft too compared to the generation before them. The generation before them, they chunk them. Straight, it was a flagrant one on clotheslines and punches to the mouth. Right? Well,
like the bad boy Pistons did Jordan.
Yeah, y'all was getting kicked out, so y'all was less aggressive as this group. The next group after you was less aggressive than you, and so forth and so forth. Like, so you can't look at it and say this generation is too soft. You gotta remember, I don't need to be enemies with you. Why?
That's what it is. It's not soft. It's too friendly. Because I said I'm not out here to kill you. I'm here to compete when the ball goes up, but we can still be cool.
That's how it's always been. How many people hung out with Michael Jordan that wasn't on Chicago Bulls?
Very true.
Everybody wanted to be.
I mean, it was
Jordan.
Charles Oakley.
How many years did Charles Barkley and Jordan play together?
Barkley.
How many years?
Barkley was the best friend.
Isaiah was friends with Magic.
Never.
But they always knew each other for the.
John Sally was friends with Larry Bird. A lot of people don't know. Larry Bird and Patrick Ewing were close. A lot of people don't know.
The perception of what people think is just dumb. Like, I don't have no problem with him because we train on summer together. But on the court,
So that was Gilbert Arenas' take on how Dennis Rodman made his bones guarding lesser skilled back to the basket guys, but he wasn't out there guarding, let's just say, Magic Johnson. He couldn't do nothing with Magic Johnson. Okay, he wasn't out there guarding somebody like Gary Payton. He was guarding Shawn Kemp. He couldn't stay in front of Gary Payton. So if he couldn't stay in front of Gary Payton, who was 6'4", 195 pounds, what makes you think he can stay in front of LeBron James, who's 6'9", 260, the same size as Karl Malone, with Magic Johnson's skill and Michael Jordan's athleticism? Not happening. A lot of you old school guys are nostalgic. I get it. I started watching basketball in the 80s era. I get nostalgic about that era. I just haven't found a point guard in any era that I can say is better than Magic Johnson at the point guard. That's why he's in my all-time starting five at the point. As great as Steph Curry is, as great as Dame Dollar is, as great as Chris Paul is, Tony Parker, so on and so forth, none of them were better than Magic to this day, in my opinion. And I don't think I'm biased. I'm just looking at it for what it is. All right. Now, some other positions of the past, guys have gotten surpassed, at their position, and some of the newer players are a little better. But that's an endless revolving hamster wheel debate because a lot of people are dug in You know, they're dug into the trenches. They're going to stand their ground, and they're not budging off the fact that they believe Will Chamberlain today could average 60 points and would grab 30 rebounds. They're not backing off that, even though that's not a reality, but to them it is. They believe that because he did it in the 60s, right, against that competition, those rules, that coaching style, which was the same across the board for everybody pretty much, that he could do that today or in the 90s or in the 80s or in the early 2000s. No, 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 and no. But you got to let people live some time and enjoy their nostalgia, and you don't want to tear their heroes down, just like action star Michael J. White and martial arts practicer, several degree black belt and whatever martial arts he's into, actually trains and with boxers and MMA fighters. He actually trained, boxers before, trained MMA fighters or helped them in training. There's one famous clip of him teaching Kimbo Slice, the famed YouTube street fighter who turned into a professional MMA fighter and then a boxer, where he was teaching Kimbo Slice how to basically throw a punch without the opponent detecting the punch, right? And Michael J. White was explaining how he could whoop Bruce Lee. Now, Bruce Lee is a mythical figure for many people, including myself. I grew up, my guys that I looked up to were Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, and George Jefferson. Now, if you watch my lives, if you watch my videos, you'll probably hear the influence, right, in different ways. And he said, I'm 225 pounds, 230 pounds. There's nothing Bruce Lee would have been able to do with me in an octagon, right? I outweigh him by 75 pounds. And weight does matter. Yes, in the very beginning of the UFC, there were no weight classes. You had big sumo wrestling guys fighting guys who were 180 pounds, and sometimes a smaller guy who was highly skilled would wear down the big sumo dude by staying away from him so the sumo dude couldn't grab him. Yes, you had. But when you have two similarly skilled guys, and one guy is 60 pounds heavier than the other guy, all you got to do is look at the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder trilogy. Tyson Fury outweighed Deontay Wilder in every fight by at least 50 to 60 pounds. And on top of that, he had a longer reach. Tyson Fury 6'9", even though Deontay Wilder was listed at 6'6", 6'7", Tyson Fury 6'9" and outweighed him by at least 60 pounds in every fight. It mattered. It wore Deontay down, especially in the last two fights. He just got wore out by the size difference. Why do you think they have weight classes in boxing and in MMA? To keep things on a level playing field. As great as Conor McGregor was in his prime, whooping ass in two weight classes, the 135 pound division and the 145 pound and 155 pound division. Right? No, I think he even started at 135, excuse me, and took the title at 145. He never had the title at lightweight at 155, I don't believe. But you guys can correct me in the comment section. As great as Conor McGregor was in his prime, he's no longer in his prime. So we're not talking about the same Conor McGregor. To think that he could go and fight John Jones, who weighed 205 pounds, and he had to cut weight to make that weight. John Jones, 6'4", 205 pounds. Conor McGregor stood no shot at beating John Jones if he came in at 155 pounds and John Jones weighs 205 pounds. He's 6'4", got double the reach, right? I wouldn't say he's twice as strong, but he's at least 30 to 40% stronger than Conor McGregor, especially in the wrestling department. He would have beat Conor McGregor easy He wouldn't have even fooled around with him trading kicks and punches. He would have took him right down to the ground and choked him out or pounded him out. Easy. First round victory. And that's because of the size disparity. All right. So once again, there is an evolution to the game of basketball. And LeBron James is an evolution. As much as you guys, some of you guys like to hate him, you have to understand he has the ball skills of Magic Johnson, the size of Karl Malone, and the athleticism of Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan. Okay, and I believe Michael Jordan had more body control. He was more graceful. His game was prettier. That's part of the Jordan mystique. His game was pretty to watch. You know, like a Kyrie Irving or Magic Johnson or even Larry Bird. Their game, you know, was just pretty in certain respects, right? LeBron's game is not that pretty. Yeah, he throws all his tomahawk dunks. He dunks over people, you know, but his game is not really that pretty because he's half Shaquille O'Neal, sometimes Karl Malone, I should say, closer to, and he's half Magic Johnson. If you wanted to take two players, put them together and say, like, you know, theoretically, you combine their DNA, you would probably get LeBron James, right? So if you drop LeBron James in any era, it could be the 60s, 70s, 50s, 80s, 90s, he would dominate. Doesn't matter. Imagine you put him in the 60s with Bill Russell. He's damn near the same size as Bill Russell. You guys don't understand. I mean, height-wise, and he would outweigh Bill Russell by 30 pounds and be faster than Bill Russell, jump higher than Bill Russell, and have way more ball skills than Bill Russell. So probably imagine if LeBron played in the 60s, they could actually jump him at center, and he would kill, destroy. The same way Magic, when he jumped center against the 76ers as a rookie and killed the 76ers because of his skill at that size. The opposing center who was guarding him couldn't do nothing with him. And it would be the same thing with LeBron. You drop him in the 60s or the 70s and put him at the power forward or the center position, he would run circles around those guys and get everybody else involved and play great defense. All right, so that's all I'm going to say for this live. I'm going to keep it short, one of the shorter lives. I want to thank my brother, Jerron Brown. And once again, I want to highlight his Cheekline Arts Instagram page. That's Cheekline_Arts and adult art. And also he has a book collection, a coloring, an erotic adult coloring book collection called But. You can go on Instagram and contact him there to purchase some of his artwork or purchase one of his adult coloring books. All right. This has been Rant Roller Sports. I appreciate all you guys. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't already. Put a like on the video, especially if you're a subscriber. Why are you a subscriber if you ain't liking the videos? You know, help me out. I'm doing this for free, not a fee. All right. Just out of the love. I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your evening.